Moving ahead, we are quite eager to listen to our chief guest, Mr. Mahesh Zakresa. The introduction is very vast, there are lots of achievements and contribution by sir. However, I have tried to make it quite concise. He's ex-IAS officer and ex-secretary to the government of Maharashtra. I have great pleasure to introduce him today. He actually accepted our invitation in just a few seconds. I just requested him, and he was delighted that he will come. So thank you very much, sir. He has a very wonderful and enriching journey, contributing to various aspects of Indian government, Maharashtra government in past over 37 years. Along with this way, he gathered insights into diverse subjects ranging from R&D, public and corporate administration, revenue department, agriculture, rural development, urban and development, renewable energy, what Honorable Vice Chancellor was talking about, sustainability and environment protection, education, health sector, food, water and soil conservation, also managing mega events such as the Veda. Sir has been awarded with World Health Organization International No Tobacco Day Award in 2014, National Board Award for E-Governance in 2013, and some of his important posts that he has held today is, as I mentioned, Principal Secretary to Government of Maharashtra, Municipal Commissioner Pune, Commissioner of FDA, Transport Commissioner, Director General Energy Development, as well as Metropolitan Commissioner. Sir, thank you very much. You joined us, and this is really honor for not only for me, for Institute of EI, MIT-WPU, however, those who are attending this conference. So I believe that listening to technical sessions every day through the conferences and all, that's always possible. However, listening to you, meeting to you in person is very important for us. So please, sir, I would like you to please proceed with your address. Please.
Thank you, Dr. Anand. Honorable Dr. Chitnis, Vice Chancellor of MIT-WPU, Mr. Milind Pandeyji, Mr. Khandekarji, and all the esteemed guests, and Dr. Anand, and the academics and the researchers who are attending this conference. First, let me thank you for giving me this opportunity for getting associated with such a technical topic. I have no technical knowledge or background about the artificial intelligence or softwares or algorithms and all that. But I do like to listen, I do like to read, and I do like to deploy such technologies when I was in the administration, and even now also wherever it's possible. I do have fascination for such things. Secondly, I must congratulate ICISA, if I am not wrong, that is the correct short form, and the MIT-WPU for conceptualizing such kind of conferences to trigger the thought process amongst the researchers, among the academicians, amongst the students, so that the current topics are taken forward in the realm of research, and of course the necessity that has become the in thing for the day. I'm also very glad, and I'm very passionate about the topic of agriculture, not from the perspective of being from a farming community, but because of the kind of experience that I gathered through my 37 years association with the administration. This particular topic is extremely important, not from the perspective of just India, but from the perspective of the globe. And therefore, the use of artificial intelligence for such a sector is like something for me that I must congratulate you, Dr. Anand, personally, and all the management and everyone there to debate, discuss, and take it forward. Because you are going to do immense help to this, not just to this community, but as an economy of the country and the globe overall. Having said that, artificial intelligence is like the paradigm shift in the happening on this planet, and probably about 380 crores or 400 crores years ago, the life began on this planet. That was the mega event, first time paradigm shift on this planet, And I think a similar such event is happening now with this artificial intelligence, cognitive analytics, genomics, and especially merger of the physical and biological. And I think the artificial intelligence is going to accelerate this process of physical merger of physical and biological. So this event that is happening currently is as big or as huge as it was like creation of life on this planet. And therefore, your topic that how to make use of artificial intelligence in agriculture has got importance of this similar scale. This planet, even if you say that there are certain upheavals and like revolutions, and we normally when we talk about revolutions, these are the three industrial revolutions beginning from 1776 with the advent of steam engines and all that, and the second revolution, third, and now we are in the fourth revolution. But until the first industrial revolution, it was the run for agriculture. This agriculture sector was the backbone of the entire humanity, backbone of the economy of this planet for about 12,000 to 15,000 years. When we migrated from forest and the plains and savannas, and we settled as a community of, and started growing crops, that's when the agriculture started. And that was the first revolution. Although it was not an industrial revolution, but I would call it as a first mega revolution on this planet. Now, after the 1776, it started receding, and the industrial revolutions took the edge over the agriculture. Now, at this juncture, in 2025, probably we'll have to rethink about the whole thing and how we can make use of this latest technology, latest techniques, latest softwares, latest algorithmic benefits for the use in agriculture. Now, it is not just the in thing to do to make use of artificial intelligence in agriculture, and just like it's a recent thing, modern thing, and let's make it use of for in agriculture. That in any case is going to happen. Nobody is supposed to tell somebody that you make use of it. It naturally happens. But my point, and this is very important point, is that the use of technologies, if you see the last 225 years or 250 years, the use of technologies, be it your mechanical or like chemical or anything, that is mainly, these technologies are mainly used to maximize profit and maximize dividends in the secondary sector, that is industry, and the tertiary sector, that is the services, where that's where the money is. And it's natural. Anybody who is making investing money is bound to think of getting it back in exponential manner. Nothing wrong in that, and that's what the capitalism for, and that's how the jobs are created. So I'm all for that. But while doing that, the orphan sector, that is agriculture, remains at the fag end of the benefits of such technologies, and that's the experience of last 250 years during the regime of three industrial revolutions. Now, what is the significance of agriculture and why we are supposed to make use of artificial intelligence consciously for the humanity and not just for the farming community? This is very important. We are not going to do anything for the farming community, just for the farming community. It engulfs or it encompasses the well-being of entire human population. We today keep on hearing, there are discussions that at Baramati there was like a experiment about artificial intelligence, how to increase sugar cane and all these things, and everywhere all over the world. But again, this is for the rich crops. This is for the highly paying crops. So this is again within the agriculture, the deployment of technologies, deployment of artificial intelligence and similar technologies is going to be for the high-end earners. Now, is this the sector for high-end earner? Now, let me tell you, we have, and this is the proper sentence that can summarize my talk, and I will proceed on that. My summarization is that the power of artificial intelligence should be utilized to nullify the inequality problem. We are in a process in the midst of inequality of income across the globe. Now, how is it that today, if you take the GDP of the world, which if you consider it as 100 rupees or whatever it is almost like $106 trillion if my correct figures are correct. Then 4.23% GDP. Just 4.23% GDP is coming from agriculture. And think about it. About 24 to 25% population is depending on agriculture. It also means that 97%, 95% or 96% of GDP is coming from industries and the services where the technologies are being used for last 250 years, and now artificial intelligence is also going to be deployed there in more in maximum numbers or in maximum quantum, or the more investment will go there, and those two sectors will flourish further. Now what we have to do is, and if you come to the Indian specific ecosystem, we still have 85% GDP coming from industries and services sector, and just 15% GDP coming from agriculture. And yet our Indian population, about 45% to 50% is dependent on agriculture, and the rest is on the secondary and tertiary sector. The problem for this world, the problem for India, and the problem for artificial intelligence is how to bring equality among the sectors. Now, what does that mean? It is not the maximization of crop. It is not just how to use artificial intelligence in making for breeding the crops, or getting better genetic material, or disease resistance, or drought proning. These are there. These are going to be there. But the challenge remains that how to, as I said earlier, 4.23% GDP of the world is coming from farming community or agriculture. That means you have to really, if you have to make use of artificial intelligence, its first mandate at the top of agenda, number one, should be how to bring down the dependency on agriculture from 25 to 24-25% to 4.23% to align with the GDP percentage, or to increase the GDP of agriculture from 4.23% to 24 to 25%. Now, how to do that? Then what for artificial intelligence is there? It is not just there to maximize the crop yield and all that. No, it's not going to be there. There has to be some different aspect which needed to be inquired into, and the human mind has to be supplemented through the artificial technologies so that how the problems could be solved. Americans have done that. Americans today, their GDP from agriculture is just 1%, and their dependency from population is just 1%. For rest of the world, of course, barring some European countries also, rest of the world, the alignment of sectors, GDP and the population dependence is humongous problem. And that's where, as I said earlier, the disaster of inequality is coming from. And that's how, as per in the words of Professor Joseph Stiglitz, a Nobel laureate, that this world is of the money, by the many, and for the money. So inequality is growing. If inequality grows humongously, then those large populations, depending on agriculture, will not allow the minuscule people on other two sectors live quietly and in peace. So for the peace of planet, the use of artificial intelligence has to bring down the dependency on agriculture, or increase the productivity, the returns from agriculture. Now, how it is to be done? It is for you people. It is for the interdisciplinary people to sit, policymakers, and deploy artificial intelligence in that. Of course, there may not be much of money in this thing, because the moment you make use of it and tomorrow you are going to get money, no. Just like if you are going to have higher yield by bringing out higher yield varieties of some crop through artificial intelligence and Cas9 kind of gene editing mechanism, it is possible to develop newer varieties. But that doesn't mean that you are going to help the larger population. And therefore, number one challenge before the artificial intelligence to bring the parity among the sectors and the populations dependent on it, and especially for Indian conditions. Now, why this is getting further confounded is that the jobs in secondary and tertiary sectors are plateauing, or in some sectors they are coming down. And therefore, assimilation of this farming community or agriculture into the secondary and tertiary sector is going down. Artificial intelligence has to find ways how to provide the jobs or the income opportunities for this 24 to 25% of the global population and make them sustainable, and their inequality becomes lesser and lesser. These are the challenges before artificial intelligence. Of course, what one way is that, like, you develop the backward linkages, what is there in the plate of Canadian on his lunch or dining table, and how India or some other African country can supply it more profitably, and how can their income can go up, and all that is there. I had suggested one such thing, that how to increase GDP of agriculture sector, because we cannot really assimilate in India. We cannot assimilate them like US. They have assimilated in services and industry sector. We cannot do that because doors have been closing for the employment opportunities in these two sectors. So to shift population from agriculture to non-agriculture field is little challenging, or the doors are closing. I had suggested that, like, in India, 85% of economy GDP is from services and industry, and these two sectors, they decide on the price of their product or services they themselves. Agriculture, that is 15% of GDP, they cannot decide on their products, the price of their products. If artificial intelligence can bring out some technologies so that farming committee can also decide on their product, just like this 85% of economy is doing, the problem will be solved. And therefore, I had suggested, and I had written an article in Indian Express in 2019-20, and that my suggestion was that let's create, rather than MSP, minimum support price. Government really cannot sustain this. So I had suggested FTMP, first trade minimum price, which can be supported by artificial intelligence kind of technologies, like your aggregation technologies, and the creation of some platforms for the farmers, and gathering intelligence across the country, so that the most remunerative price is decided, and below which the trade will not be allowed. These are the certain suggestions. But one thing is there, the artificial intelligence has major role to play in for the 25% of the world population or the 50% of the Indian population, and that's the miracle that it can do. Otherwise, it is like it's going to be the world as it is, or it was, and then again the corporate coffers will go up, and the conflicts across the world are not going to be just conflicts of boundaries, conflicts of religions, but these will be conflicts of economy in the coming future, because universal basic income is not going to be the solution. I wish all the success to such initiatives, and only MIT-WPU can conceptualize such timely interventions in this kind of topics, so that the debate across the country can be initiated. I thank you very much, and wish the conference all the best.
Sir, thank you very much. The words "thank you very much" are quite insufficient for whatever enlightenment you had actually. And sir, to be honest, we always think AI in terms of developing the methods, developing algorithms, solving certain problems, and then maybe going towards publication and maybe getting patents and solve industry problems. However, sir, as you have worked with people for so many years, addressing their different problems, now we really did not have any idea at all. Even though we are agricultural important country, by the way, but then I myself had no idea about this, that 4.2% GDP of the world is from agriculture and industry is more. But then, as you rightly said, that now there is a plateau coming with the jobs. I believe this is the time for people like us. So I request you, whenever if we need, we would like to approach you on this side, and we would like to think and see how we can contribute towards this. Maybe our entire life may not be really sufficient for sure, because challenges will keep coming. But then we would like to meet you, sir, in the very near future, and then we would like to proceed with this, because as Pandey sir rightly mentioned, that the vision of MIT-WPU is to cater to the Atmanirbhar Bharat, and I think what you rightly mentioned is that maybe if I'm right, the marriage of AI and agriculture would help us, taking from corporate level, societal level. I believe that will help. Sir, we will do our study, we'll do our work, and we'll get back to you. Pandey sir, would you like to say something? Sir, we can't hear you.
His mic is on mute.
Yeah.
It is muted, so he needs to be unmuted. I think it is unmuted.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So it was a mesmerizing, it was an eye-opener talk, sir. I was listening to you very carefully, and you have given the complete 360-degree insights.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and we would like to invite you on this campus with more one-on-one interaction, guiding to the researchers, and how we can build up this AI ecosystem to build India tomorrow. That is what we are looking for, sir. Most welcome you, and thank you for such insightful discussions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and I'm always, let me tell you, I'm always there, just a phone call away, and I'm ready to interact. I keep on interacting with many institutions, and pro bono. That is the first condition. I do not charge anything. This is my kind of repaying back to the society. So feel free to whatever worth my knowledge could be or experience could be. I am always there with you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Sir, I would just like to take 30 seconds. So I hope you can see this book. So we published this book end of 2024. So this is on advances in systems for sustainable agriculture. So sir, I would like to, I would email you this book, and then in the future, whenever we meet in person, I would gift you one hard copy also, and then we can go through it. This book is by me and Dr. Castelli. Castelli is from Mexico, so he works on AI, but then he used what rightly mentioned is maybe you can say inventory of agriculture side as well as industry side. So he works on both the sides. However, I must admit that the points you mentioned, we couldn't leverage to this book to the maybe 100%, maybe we leverage only to say 30-40%. So, but we would like to have one more on this and come up with something more on that. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So Apurva, would you please give vote of thanks? And then after this vote of thanks, we'll have a keynote by Dr. Nanda, right? And then, it would be great if the dignitaries can stay for the keynote, but if they are very busy, they can proceed with their work. Apurva, please.
Yes, sir. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, please.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Apurva Shastri, Research Assistant Professor and ICISA 2025 Co-Chair. As we come to the end of this wonderful inauguration ceremony, it is my honor to deliver the vote of thanks. First and foremost, our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest of honor, Shri Mahesh Zagade sir, for gracing the occasion and sharing such inspiring thoughts. Sir, your presence truly elevated the event. A sincere thank you to the management and Dr. R.M. Chitnis, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Milind Pandey, our Dynamic Pro Vice Chancellor, and Dr. Prasad Khandekar, our Chief Academic Officer, for their presence, encouragement in making ICISA 2025 a reality. We deeply appreciate all the authors who contributed their research to this conference. Your work is the heart of this event. To our dedicated reviewers and the technical program committee, thank you for your time and expertise in ensuring the quality and integrity of the conference content. A special mention to all the research scholars and interns. Your hard work and enthusiasm have been invaluable throughout this journey. Last but not the least, thank you to Dr. Anand Kulkarni, our conference chair, for his vision and tireless efforts in bringing together this impactful platform for knowledge exchange and innovation. Finally, thank you to everyone who joined us today and to all who worked behind the scenes. Let's begin with the first keynote speech on the role of neural networks and finite element analysis in retrofitting concrete structures by Dr. Mandar Sapri, Research Assistant Professor, Institute of Artificial Intelligence,